Hi, everybody. Welcome to our channel, Our Scientology Stories, Peeling the Onion. My name is Mark Fisher, and we've got a special video for you tonight. It's actually not a video. We don't really have anybody we're interviewing, but it's an open chat. We're going to do a live chat, and it's open forum. It's whatever you want to talk about, whatever you want to discuss, any questions or anything like that. And we've got a special announcement that we're going to go through as well. Janis is going to be with us here momentarily. But in the meantime, we have a special guest with us here who's going to be on the show with me. And it's Poe on the go, John Poe. How you doing today, John?
Doing great. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's hot here. I mean, in Vegas, I thought we were over the hot weather, but I think today it was 108 or something like that. And so It's a little bit warm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's nothing like what you've been going through. When, you've had a lot of, go ahead and discuss, the weather problems you guys have had. Yeah.
Well, a few nights ago, we had pretty good storm tear through the area, knocked out power for over 8 hours. Our sump pump couldn't work. The battery drained on that. And next thing you know, we've got about 12 inches of standing water in our basement and about 50,000 in damages. So that wasn't enough. The next day, coming home from helping the wife with her route, Amazon semi rolled over the front end of my car, totaled it out.
Oof.
And then the next day, we had a tornado warning and even more intense raining, and it washed out. There's a broken line somewhere, washed out all the substrate underneath of our driveway. So now we have a huge sinkhole in our driveway, and they're all trying to figure out what they got to do about it. So, been fun time.
Was that a county problem, or what was the deal with the sinkhole?
Originally, the township DPW supervisor, he was literally driving up the road, saw it. We were talking about it. They sent a crew out, and they sent cameras up all the lines they could find. They can't find the break. So it's not a township problem. It's got to be a county problem. And we're just trying to figure out where it's going from there. So
I understand. That's rough.
Mama.
Hey, Goldie, how you doing? She's saying hello to you, John. We got Goldie in the house.
Yeah. I tell you what, if there's anybody that works harder in this SPTV verse, I'd like to know. So
exactly. Goldie is everywhere. Like I said, she's got like 8 arms with 8 computers all going at the same time.
Yeah, I imagine it's going to be like one of those NASA control rooms where you just got the series of panels in front of you and she's just working them all at once. So
exactly. She's got the supercomputer like the Matrix. She's just rolling along with the thing. Okay, everybody, and here she is, our co-host with the mostest, and it's Janis Grady. Hey, Janis, how you doing?
Hi, Janis.
Can you hear us?
I'm good. Yes, I can hear you both.
Good.
Hi, how are you guys?
Great. Yeah.
Doing good.
We were
digging
just
that
catching
boomerang
up.
collection back there.
Oh, yeah, I've got some good boomerangs.
Yeah.
I had a small
she
collection
repositioned her desk.
Yeah.
What was that, Mark?
Oh, I just said she repositioned. It's the same office, but she moved her computer so that the boomerangs and all the merchandise behind her would be seen. So anyway,
I think that's a great looking office.
Yeah, it is. Before, I used to have the TV behind me with a halo over my head from the light collection. I preferred the boomerangs.
If you knew how many lighting and backdrop changes I've had before I finally settled on this, I know your thing. Let's see. On this side is, the 2 guitars I handmade. Then, of course, a friend of mine has a motorcycle repair shop. That's the shirt from his shop we've got framed up over there. Of course, you got Albert Einstein back here in the corner. So
Albert Einstein?
Well, you can't. Yep. Yeah, you can't really see it because of the lighting.
Yeah, let's see here. We'll get it better for you.
Yeah, it's a blue. You can see it a little bit.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
So, and
yeah.
Now I see Albert.
Yeah.
And there's some certifications up on the wall, some other things that, like proud to be a police officer plaque up center there. The hat is a Detroit Red Wings hat signed by a bunch of the legends of the Detroit Red Wings. And right over here, we've got my Rampage arcade game and my old Chiefs hat sitting on top of it.
Now, John, tell everybody you were coming to Vegas, and there's another horrible story, right?
Oh yeah,
it was coming a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we were looking forward to seeing you.
Oh, I know that was going to be, a great little thing. Get out there, finally get to meet you guys and see what's going on. We booked everything, and unfortunately, we went through one of those travel sites. I didn't even know anything about Frontier Airlines before that. I knew my daughter had worked for them, but I didn't know much else about them. We get there to the airport. I think we got there at 5:30, and we kept waiting. We were supposed to board the plane at 6:45. They said there were complications, mechanical issues. They weren't going to be able to have us board the plane. Kept us just sitting there. Then after midnight, after every other flight from the airport had left, they then announced that our flight has been canceled due to mechanical issues. Left us stranded. I literally had to call a friend to come pick us up. So
that's terrible.
Wow.
Yeah, we had we had everything set. We had someone drive us out there and everything. We were all set, gonna have a great weekend. And thank you to Frontier Airlines for pretty much throwing away our holiday. And our son was going to make his first appearance in one of the big international gaming competitions. And
yeah, that's what Mark said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot lost there. That one was more painful than the basement. I can replace carpet, I can replace the woodwork and all that, but my son's experience of going to his first big international competition, that's something you can't
Oh
replace.
yeah.
No.
So, yeah, that's right.
No. And Janis, you missed it, but he had a flood in his basement and also a sinkhole in front of his house in his driveway, and his car or truck got hit by an Amazon 18-wheeler, and the front end of the truck got taken off. So he's had a rough time.
Well, they literally, we have a huge storm come in, knocked out power for over 8 hours. Our sump pump battery died, and our basement flooded, did about $50,000 in damage to our basement. The very next day, I'm stopped at a stop sign, and an Amazon 18-wheeler drove right over the front end of my car because they cut the corner too sharp. And that very night, we have tornado warnings and heavy rainfall again. And somewhere down the line, there's a break in one of the relief lines, and it ended up washing out all the substrate under our driveway and caused a huge sinkhole.
Wow. Yeah. That's like getting fair gamed from every direction.
Yeah, that doesn't even count the things I've gone through with COS. So yeah,
and then we had Hurricane Hillary come up the West Coast, and all it did here was rain. Nothing happened here. Yeah. I know there was Southern California, and also in the mountains here, there was a lot of flash flooding and that type of thing. But and then the people in Florida, our heart goes out to them too, right? With the hurricane that just went through there too.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy weather time of the year. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, and then I'm hearing from friends over in Asia. They're having weird tropical storms and flash storms come up out of nowhere. Let's see.
Wow.
I was looking at the comment there from Blow Drill.
Yeah, I saw it. Do you want me to put it up?
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. You know what? I think I was out ethics really bad. And, those Thetans, they got to me. So we're, just got to keep a positive attitude. There's nothing I can do about it.
Exactly.
It's going to work its way out one way or another. At 55 years old, I really didn't appreciate pulling out, all that carpet and padding weighing about 10 times its normal amount because of the water. But, what are you going to do? So,
well, where was your son?
He was helping. Yeah, he was down there.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's a big one. He's 6'7", 325.
Whoa.
Yeah, big corn-fed boy. So
he's a video gamer?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's really good at them. So yeah, he's one of those that he's the big teddy bear type. He's big, he's strong. He even does sumo wrestling. They have a new sumo club started up here in Southeast Michigan, and he's doing that. He's strong. He can be very aggressive when he's in a situation like the sumo wrestling and all that. But for the most part, he's mama's boy, and he's just a big old teddy bear. So
that's great. How old is he?
26.
Okay,
So
great.
yeah, he's not, doesn't matter how old he gets, he's always going to be my boy. So
Absolutely. That's speaking of which, that we had Janice's daughter Erin on with us yesterday, and we did a live stream with her, and that was wonderful. We got a lot of nice comments, didn't we, Janice?
that's awesome.
We can't hear you. Did you mute your mic,
Yeah.
Janice?
I
There you go.
did. The dogs were barking, so I muted. But yeah, we had a lot of fun with Aaron on, and we're going to do it again. And Sterling wants to do one with Aaron, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
This was the video that we did yesterday.
I saw the thumbnail for that. I thought that was a great thumbnail.
Yeah,
and it was really great. And Erin is just a joy to be around, and it was great to hear her perspective, because she was raised by former Scientology parents, and never really raised as a Scientologist. So anyway, so we had that.
Let's see, is that what you wanted, Matt? Or
what's that? Oh, you're talking about Matt?
There we go. How's that, Matt?
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. That's
but
good.
I was going to say, one of the things we talked about, Janice, was Erin has a product called Oracle Healing Salve, which has CBD in it and emu oil and all this other stuff. And she got some orders on that, didn't she, Janice?
Yeah, she did, and she already packaged them up and dropped them off at the post office.
That's awesome.
It was very good.
I can attest to it.
Happy.
For over 10 years, I was on Norco and opioid, and I was on the highest dosage you could get 3 times a day, because I had torn my MCL in my left leg, which is the major tendon right there at the knee. And it was to the point where the Norco was doing nothing. I was still in constant pain, couldn't get out of bed in the morning, always just sore. And I decided, you know what, I'm done. I'm not taking this stuff anymore. And I moved over to using CBD products, and I can tell you for a fact that stuff, I don't feel the pain in my knees anymore. I feel great.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's actually selling out of the larger version, right, Janice? She's got to get some more of the product.
Yeah, she's placed an order for all the ingredients, and hopefully it all comes in tomorrow, so she can make it over the weekend and
that's awesome.
Get some more of the larger ones. Yeah.
Get her in touch with me. I've got one friend owns 9 dispensaries here in Michigan, and he's got tons of other friends that own dispensaries as well. Plus I know a lot of people that own party stores and things like that. And I got no problem going to them and trying to hawk the wares for her. So
and it's great stuff too. It works really well. But I wanted to mention, I put this back up because she's offering a 10% discount coupon for any of our viewers. It's valid until September 6th. And the code is onion10 on the website. And that's her website there, healedbyoracle.com. So anyway, anybody who's interested in ordering that, you can do so. And you get a 10% discount if you use that code.
I know my wife.
That helps out, Aaron. What were you going to say, Janice?
I said, no, I know my wife will be buying that. So.
Good.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. And then there's one other thing, Janice. Janice can't stay for very long. She's got a prior commitment and all that. But I wanted to talk about one other thing that we did this week, and that was we did a show on Cole Hauser, who's the Yellowstone actor. He plays Rip, the ranch foreman, and his Scientology connection. And we got quite a few views on that. And it was basically the connection is his parents. So he was basically born. Both of his parents were in Scientology, and that. So we had a lot of photos and a lot of fun with that, right, Janice?
Yeah, and since that, I found out that his dad Wings has actually become a big international star. So he's done. Wings Hauser.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
his father was Wings Hauser, the actor, and his mother is Cass Warner, who was an heir to the Warner Brothers, Jack Warner and all that in Hollywood. Yeah. And those were his parents, and they were both Scientologists when he was born. And we showed photographs of him at the Fort Harrison Hotel as a baby in diapers on a big wheel.
Yeah. But Wings is no longer a Scientologist, but he helped Cole become a good actor and got him a leading part in his movie Skins, which Wings produced and starred in. Yeah.
And I tell you what, he he alone has brought back the love of cowboys and the women folk. That's for sure.
Oh, you mean this one
Yeah.
here?
Yeah. Oh, Rip there.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
you know, I have nothing near being a cowboy. I'm from Kentucky, but I've got that Southern drawl in my voice a lot of the time. And, you know, it's just amazing. I'll be at a store and someone will hear me talk and they'd be like, "Are you a cowboy?" No, no, I'm a hillbilly. We're a different breed there. So, but yeah, women are just in love with Rip. That character.
I
yeah.
think it's the
plays.
relationship with Rip and Beth. I
Yeah.
think they like Beth too.
I'm not gonna lie, I like watching it too, so I you know, can't say much about it. And the one I liked was, what was his name? The young guy who was the mess up that ended up going to the Sixes Ranch over in Texas.
Yeah,
Jimmy.
Jimmy, yeah.
Jimmy.
I was so happy to see him and that girl he married, and he's doing good
Yeah.
out there in Texas. I can't wait
Yeah.
to see the new show that spins off from that. So
Well, we got another comment here from Joel McCoy. He's a member and he's been a follower of our channel for a long time. He says another thing, support for independent businesses like Janis and her daughter is good for America. The country was built on folks like this. Support them when you can. Here, totally agree with that.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks very much, Joel.
Yeah, and anybody that knows me knows wherever I go, you know, we go on vacation and stuff like that. Unless you're going someplace like Vegas, it's hard to avoid. But we don't like stopping at like the nationwide chains. If we're going to eat, we go to a mom and pop wherever we're near. And you know, that's the thing is we got to support these small businesses. That's, you know, until the Walmarts and the big conglomerates like that showed up, that was how you got everything.
And, yeah,
exactly. Or the Sears catalog.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, you're right about that.
Oh man, I can remember daydreaming over that Sears catalog as a kid.
Oh, me too. I remember going through, my brother and I going through the toy section. Okay, which would you want on this page if you could have anything on this page? You know, it's funny.
Oh, man.
Anyway, Dastardly Saboteur, who's a member of our channel, he said I can vouch for her product. So he's obviously gotten some of the CBD and used. I've used it as well on a few times. I've had some inflammation, and it definitely is helpful as we get older.
I have too.
And we've got some stuff. It's called Ripple, and it's a combination CBD THC. And I tell you what, after a long day, you know you're going to be sore. That THC helps put you to sleep, but that CBD, man, that works those joints over, and you don't have a problem the next morning. So,
yeah.
I thought we were when you said Ripple, I thought you were talking about that old cheap wine from the 70s.
I
Fred
prefer
Sanford
Mad Dog
was drinking
or
his
Moon
Ripple.
Farm. I remember I was stationed in Fort Huachuca, Arizona, and we used to go down to Mexico. We were 30 miles from the Mexican border, and they literally had buses that for $5, they'd run you down, give you 2 bottles of water, and then they would every hour on the hour, starting at 5 o'clock, they would run everybody back. And we go down there and stay for the weekend, but we'd come back broke. And the next weekend, you know, what are we going to do? I remember us all scrounging money together so we could go to the PX and go buy 1-gallon bottles of Mad Dog 2020, just the only thing we could afford to get a little liquor in us for the weekend. So I'm quite aware of those old cheap wines they used to have. So.
Absolutely. And then one last thing here, wanted to add to the stream. I want to thank everybody for the birthday. My birthday was last Tuesday, and we had a party over at our friend Tom's house. That's me and his pool, his brand new pool, and it was nice. And Janis was there, and a bunch of us were there, and we had a good time. And of course, I have to show off. Janis got me this koala in a Hawaiian shirt, you know, that she made the Hawaiian shirt. So we got this and want to acknowledge Janis for her generosity for my birthday.
And it looks really good.
You're
too.
welcome.
And then Janis, we also got one of, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Have you changed his shirts yet? Or he's wearing a
not
dirty
yet.
shirt?
No, not yet. He's dirty, but he's going to be changed. And then Janis and we want to acknowledge Marilyn Honig sent us a crocheted Xenu outfit for our Mike Rinder bobblehead, and there John's got one too. And so anyway, we want to. So we want to acknowledge Marilyn. They're really great. The craftsmanship's great. And Janis, we showed them to a friend of ours, Paul, who does merchandise and gift shops. He looked at it and he said, "Boy, the attention to detail and the quality is first rate all the way." When he saw this, he couldn't believe it.
Yeah, they're wonderful. She's really good people. Her and her husband Duncan, just really good. They're salt of the earth kind of people. The kind of folks you wanna have association with. So we're real happy to have them jump in, part of the Never Ends and everything. And they've done a wonderful job.
Yeah,
let's see.
That's great. Well, anyway, Janis, we've got a special announcement. We're going to do that in just a little bit. But Janis, you've got to take off, right?
Yes, I do. But I'm glad I jumped in to say hello.
Yeah, because we're having an open forum. John agreed to come on. If there's any other YouTube creators out there that want to, come on as well, just get in the chat, tell us if you're interested, and then I can send you an invite and we'll just have a good old discussion, because we're going to talk about Scientology and the world and whatever else is going on. So anyway, get in that chat. Anyway, Janis, thanks very much for coming in, and I'll talk to you, of course, later. John?
Okay,
yes,
great.
Sir, I'm right here. I'm texting someone to come join us. So
okay.
Janis,
well, John,
good seeing you
I'll
again.
get in touch with you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Aaron will be one of it. Bye, Janis. So it's just the guys here right now, me and John. If you want to invite Marilyn or Clearwater Chad or anybody else out there, Apostate Alex, anybody who's out there, if they want to come and join us, just get in the chat and we will send you an invite so you can get on here and just join the discussion. Okay. By the way, like I said, open forum. So if you have a question, go ahead in the chat, write the question. We're not going to wait till the end. We're going to pop them up and we're going to answer them right away. And same thing for super chats and super, whatever they're called, super chats and super stickers. Okay. We'll pull them right up because we've got really nothing to present. We're going to have a special announcement here shortly. And then we're going to do a couple of giveaways, which I think you're going to be excited about. And that's based on the special announcement that we have. So stick around. It looks like we're starting to fill up a little bit with people, because I think there was another live stream that was on. Hopefully that's over now. And we're getting a bunch of people in here. And we want to say Matt Elliott is here. And anyway.
The more I see it and I watch this chat, the more I realize that Goldie is the actual star of this entire SBTV verse here. Everybody
she
is high. So
she is. Hello, everybody. Okay. So anyway, we just got a super chat here, which I'm going to go ahead and pop up here. And this is how fast we're going to work today. Okay, gang. This is from Jacob Harkey. Thank you so much, Jacob. That's very generous of you. Mark, what was your relationship with David Miscavige like in the days when you were roommates at Flag in Clearwater? Were you two friendly back then? Yeah, I can answer that question. Basically, I had graduated high school in June of 1976. I was 17 years old, and I had been recruited into the Sea Organization by a guy named Greg Wilhare. Anyway, I was from Washington, D.C. area, and I joined the Sea Organization. So I waited until after the bicentennial, 4th of July, 1976, because I wanted to stay there for the 200th, anniversary of our country. And I went down to Clearwater. And when I get down there, my roommate was David Miscavige, and he had just turned 16 about a month before, and he had just been there for 30 days. Okay. Man. And at the time, when you first joined the Sea Organization, you had to do what was called the Estates Project Force, which was basically we were in the Commodore's Messenger Organization, which was, L. Ron Hubbard's messengers. And it was cleaning rooms and doing laundry. That's basically what you're doing. And then you were doing your training on Sea Organization basics. There were some tapes you had to listen to and that type of thing. Anyway, he had already been there 30 days before, so he'd already finished that and was going on. But he was my roommate. We lived up on the 9th floor of the Fort Harrison Hotel in a dormitory with about 2 or 3 other guys, right? And when I first met him, he was really nice. I mean, he was 16 years old. I was 17. He liked music. He was a very personable guy, young guy, but he had just dropped out of high school, right? And so, we got along together. We would go to meals together. At the time at the Fort Harrison, we had the swimming pool back in the behind the hotel. And at lunchtime, you could go in and go swimming. And he and I would go in and go for a swim and that type of thing. But anyway, things, turned dark shortly thereafter. One quick story I can tell is that I graduated high school. I actually was accepted to go to 3 different universities, and instead I joined the Sea Organization. So I had all my high school stuff with me. I had my letter jacket. I had my diploma, And he saw my diploma and he looked at it and he goes, "What's this?" I said, "Oh, that's my diploma. I graduated, from graduating." He goes, "Man," he goes, "how did you put up with it? With all the drugs and everything in the high school." I dropped out as soon as I turned 16 and I joined the Sea Organization. I said, "Well, I was never into drugs and I was a Scientologist, so I didn't really bother me." And then he goes, "You know something? You're probably the only person up here on the 9th floor who has a high school diploma," because it was all the messengers. And of course, they'd been on the Apollo on the ship since they were 12, 13, 14 years old. And they never graduated school. And at the same time, when I was there in July of 1976, that's when I first met Shelley Barnett, who later became Shelley Miscavige. She was under 16. So her and my future wife and a guy named Mark Yeager, they still had to go to Clearwater High School until they turned 16 in order to maintain good public relations, because that was the law in Florida at the time. So anyway, so that was the deal on that. But he later turned into a real a-hole, because I basically, after about a month, decided, this really isn't for me. And I got into a bit of an argument with somebody, and I decided I didn't want to be there anymore. And I thought I'd made a mistake, and I should go back home. Anyway, he immediately took all my stuff and put it out in the hallway. I came up to my room and all my stuff was in the hallway. He didn't even bother, you know what I mean? And he just started looking down on me, and treating me like a jerk. So anyway, that was my experience with him in those days. Later, of course, I came back in the Sea Organization, and after years, the last 6 years that I was in the Sea Organization, I was actually in charge of his office up at the Gold Base. And, I ran his staff, I ran everything around him, and I was his right-hand man. So anyway, that's it in a nutshell. Sorry about that.
Did you have to stand on something to look down on you?
No, he was short. That's for sure. He was a little guy. It was really funny though, because you know how it is when you're 16 and 17, and you're first starting to shave, right? Well, he was trying to grow a little mustache. You know what I mean?
Oh boy!
And so he had this little wispy mustache, and it was kind of pretty funny because it really didn't fill out.
Goodness. And Chad's in here if you want to throw the invite to him.
Oh, okay. So go ahead, and why don't you talk for a minute while I send it? I need his email address. Hold on.
I think that we've discovered I'll send it to you. I think that we've discovered the reason why he is so short is he got in there, and lack of the ability to get proper nourishment has stunted his growth at 16. So I think that's the real problem there.
How are you sending it to me? Private chat or by my email?
I'm gonna send it to your email.
Okay. By my my Facebook, like we did communicated with you before.
Oh, I was gonna send it to you. Yeah, I can send it to you on Facebook. That's not a problem.
Yeah, that's easier for me because I can find it real quick.
Yeah.
Anyway, we want to welcome everybody. A lot of people are joining in here, and Goldie is everywhere. Thank you for that comment. And good evening, all. Coming from Aaron, that's Nurse Lori. Welcome, Nurse Lori. We appreciate that. And like I said, this is an open forum, so we'll talk about whatever you want. We're going to bring your questions up right away and go from there. Anyway, Joni Cummings says, I can bet DM was an ass. Yes, he was. Definitely that. Okay, let me see what I got. I think you sent it to me, so hold on 1 sec here. There it is. Okay. Go ahead. Keep talking, John, while I do that real quick.
All righty. I was just sending a message to Marilyn. She says she'll be joining us in just a little bit here. So I told her to message you directly on Facebook. That way she can. And
she's done that before.
Okay.
Bear with us for a second, everyone.
So let's see. Did you catch the live stream I had Sunday with Jeffrey Augustine?
I unfortunately did not, but I know it was about Leah Remini, and Jeffrey's a good friend of mine. So tell everybody a brief summary of what it was about.
Well, we started a multi-part series on it where we're going to discuss busting the myth of Scientology's private investigators. We started off Sundays talking about the origins of it, why private investigators became part of Scientology's method, operandi, modus operandi, whatever you want to call it. And then part of it was Jeffrey had, during an investigation on something else, had came up with a text thread from a couple of private investigators who were known to be Scientology investigators. And in that thread, one of them says, is that Leah Remini? And the other one says, yeah, they want to kill her. And it was just, this was, the really crazy thing about it is that no one had even heard anything about this, and Leah is fully aware of what's going on with it. She knows it. She just can't be on there and be part of it because she's got the lawsuit pending right now with Scientology. But no one had even heard about that. You got two private investigators. One of them is a disgraced former New York City detective. Another one got caught in some other problems as to do with he was doing a lot of work with television, things like that, and they caught into him. But just a chit chat back and forth between the two of them, and find out that they're they want to kill Leah is the statement that these guys have been given. It's
Wow.
some pretty crazy stuff.
I got Clearwater Chad here. Clearwater Chad in the house.
What's up,
How you doing,
Chad?
Clearwater Chad?
Excellent. Let's see.
Hey, John
Yeah.
and Clearwater Chad, why don't you briefly just introduce yourself to any viewers that haven't seen you before on our channel?
Go ahead, Chad.
Oh, thanks for the invite, guys.
Look about putting you on the
Yeah,
spot.
no problem.
No problem. So I'm Clearwater Chad. I think how I don't know how deep you want to go. I do the character Clearwater Chad.
Yeah. Your experience with Scientology or the channel or whatever.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. All right. I'll just skip the 30-second version. I started watching the A&E Leah Remini show back in the day when that was on, and then I started watching Aaron's program, and he kind of came up with the idea for someone to come up with a parody of Tampa Brad, which is Clearwater Chad, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
That's great. And John, you're a former police chief, right, in Michigan?
Yes, sir. Yeah, over. Let's see. My experience with Scientology as a teenager, I saw the volcano commercial like everybody else did back in that time, and was very interested in it. Got the book, read a couple chapters into it, and I was like, "What?" Threw it over in a stack. Never looked at it again. And here it is, years later. Seeing Leah and Mike on the aftermath, and got back into it. Went down the rabbit hole on YouTube with the Scientology channels, and Aaron asked for someone that had law enforcement experience that could come on and do a live stream with him, and then pretty much my channel just blew up from there. 32 years in law enforcement, and finally retiring out as chief of police in a Southeast Michigan police department.
Fabulous. And we got a super chat from Clearwater Chad. This is before we invited him on.
Who is that?
No,
guy?
the $2 didn't get him on the show.
No,
it costs more than that, Chad.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
And then we got another super chat here from John Ziskowski. How you doing, John? Did you get the life-size DM doll? Did you get one there? Is that what you got there, Chad?
He sent me this just yesterday.
Well, I got my Mr. Bill, my Mr. Bill from John.
Yes. Yep. And then the life-size Dave Miscavige. Yep.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I got this. Yeah. Also, John, I got the water bottle toy for my dogs, and I got the Gumby, of course, too. My dog loves the water bottle thing. I have to change out a bottle about every other day because she chews through the bottle, but it works great because she doesn't then get the plastic in her teeth and in her mouth and everything. So anyway, thanks, John.
What is it with dogs and those daggone water bottles?
I got another super chat here from Calico26. Your thoughts on Jenny Linson and Anne Rathbun? Okay, well, I knew them both. They were young. They were teenagers. That was Jenny was. She was married to Tom DeVocht at the time that I knew her, right? Her father is Art Linson, who's a very famous movie producer. He produced The Untouchables with Kevin Costner and Sean Connery. He produced a lot of movies with Robert De Niro, and he's big time in Hollywood, right? And Jenny is his daughter. Anyway, she was sweet when I was around, right? She turned into a holy terror after I left in 1990, according to everybody I talked to. Yeah. And of course, I've seen the video of her as the attack dog on Mike Rinder and also on Marty Rathbun at the airport. So that's my experiences with her. Anne Rathbun was sweet too. She was married to Marty at the time. When the Religious Technology Center was taken over by David Miscavige. Actually, she wasn't married to him then. He was married to another staff member who worked for me, a girl named Jory Rathbun. But anyway, they got divorced, and then Anne was Greg Wilhare's communicator in the Religious Technology Center, and then her and Marty got married, and she was nice and all that, but again has turned into a holy terror and basically the watchdog for Shelley Miscavige and several other people. So those are my thoughts on them, and they basically turned to the dark side very big time, and that's it. Anyway, thanks for that question. Go ahead, guys.
That's I'm not surprised. I mean, that's a typical thing with anything that would be considered in the cult range, is as you make your way up and standing within it, your actual loyalty and the willing to fight for that cult and its ideology gets stronger and stronger. So I can understand. And they've got what LRH tech that's literally describes how they're supposed to act about things. So you're getting deeper into that sinkhole as you go. You're going to start conforming to it even more. And I'm not surprised that they turn into such wonderful people. So
keep talking. I'm inviting Marilyn on here.
All right. And her official screen name is Double Tap. So
okay.
That's true.
And we need to find out how Duncan's doing. Got to make sure he isn't getting abused anymore. That poor guy.
She's got a long email address. So hold on.
Does she?
Yeah. Okay, that's sent off to her. So she'll probably be joining us here shortly.
Very good.
Anyway, no, that's really good. Earthquake weather in Los Angeles. Mitch Brisker in the house. How you doing, Mitch?
Hey, Mitch.
Good to see you. Former Scientology movie director. Did a lot of those films, and we were lucky because everybody wanted him. We were lucky to have him on our channel, and we did a nice interview with him. And
that's awesome.
We're going to do some more. And then Mitch also has his own channel now, and people should check it out. It's really great. He does these short videos, which I watch all the time, and then he's also started doing interviews and that type of thing. So if you haven't already, go to Mitch Brisker's channel and subscribe. Okay, and before I forget. You should subscribe to any of our channels as well if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. As Janis likes to say, rock slam those likes. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Marilyn to get in here. Anyway, yeah, Mitch is a great guy. Very smart, very intelligent. And anyway, here's somebody saying that they worked for Jenny Linson for years. She was my direct senior. She could yell very loud. And that's from Blow Drill. Yeah, I know where she got that from. David Miscavige. The funny thing is that, I can yell loud, right, myself, right? But that was not my way of dealing with staff. I mean, anybody who dealt with me knows that he'd go in there and blow his stack, and I'd stand there while he was blowing his stack. Then he'd leave, and then I'd come on over to the person, and I'd put my arm around him, basically, figuratively, and say, come on, let's figure out how we can get this done. And then we would figure out a solution and take care of it. I was not a yeller ever. And Shelley used to get really mad at me because she said, you should yell and much more, people would respect you more. And I was like, that's just not my way. That's not the way to do things.
Plus it's been proven over time that kind of sadistic leadership is not a very productive kind of thing. If you want the most out of your employees, you got to show them support. You got to show them understanding, some empathy at least.
Yeah.
And another thing that people really hate, I don't think you'd find it on, with David Miscavige, is you see a lot of people are getting into leadership roles who don't know how to perform the functions that are underneath of them. And that burns a lot of employees up. Joni, my channel is called Poe on the Go. Goldie, if you could throw a link in there, it'd be awesome, hon. Thank you.
And let's not forget about Clearwater Chad has over 600 videos. Yeah. Anyone that likes Clearwater Chad or waterfalls or street talk, get something with Clearwater Chad.
Yeah, and you guys do a lot of car videos too, don't you?
Absolutely. We love car talk every Wednesday on Poe on the Go.
We don't care if there's anybody watching or not. We have them. We have a great time talking about anything. If it's got a motor and wheels, we're talking about it. So just a great time. We get a lot of good people in there that, they want to talk about their history with their cars as well. They want to talk about new things that are coming up. And I think that, we've got a pretty strong base of people who just like to watch those. And, it's for us, it's a way to break away from all the other negative kind of stuff that we have to report on a lot. and start, just talking about fun things. So,
and on my channel, you guys all do, the former Scientology, you guys all do such a great job talking about Scientology. I feel I purposely don't talk about it because there's no need. So I do, things like try to visit waterfalls. We have a waterfall series. We're documenting monuments in Buffalo. So people go to my channel hopefully to, kind of de-stress and stuff like that.
No, it's great. That's a great service and all that. Yeah, there's a niche for everything. That's for sure. And we got a lot of people in here with their own channels and everything. It's great.
Yeah, actually, the video that I have that has the most watches is a review of my 0-turn mower that I've got. That was crazy. So many people have watched that. It kills me that to this day it's like 2 years old and it still is getting views almost every day of the week. So
that's great.
Cool.
Yeah.
We got a question here from Katrina Jones. She's a member of our channel. Thank you very much, Katrina. We appreciate your membership. Question, Mark, did you reconnect with your family when you left? The answer, Katrina, is yes, I did. It took me a couple of years. My mother was never in Scientology. She lived in Washington, D.C. on her own. And my father and my brother had been declared suppressive people in 1980. My brother, when he was 16, he'd done one communications course. It was stupid, but he was living with my dad, who got declared. My dad was an OT7, and he had been the executive director of a Scientology mission in New Jersey. And they decided to go into another cult, another practice, and they shut down their mission. So they got declared suppressive people. My dad did, and took along with him his second wife and my brother. So that's what happened with them. So I was afraid of them when I first got out. It took me a couple years of onion peeling, as we say on our channel, for me to feel comfortable enough to reach out first to my brother and go visit him in Columbus, Ohio. And then later, my dad, who lived in upstate Washington State, we went together and we went to see my dad. And I had a relationship with my dad for like the last 2-3 years of his life. He died in 1996 at the age of 66 from mesothelioma. We didn't know what it was at the time, but my dad had been a career Navy officer. And after he died, my uncle Bob told us that in the summer, we didn't know what mesothelioma was. He just had tumors everywhere, like, and all that, right? Well, after that came out, my uncle told us that, my dad worked at an asbestos plant as a summer job while he was in college, so you can imagine that's what killed him. But it was good. It was good to reconnect and all that. My sister I never reconnected with her again, because she was a public Scientologist, and she disconnected from me. And then, like I told the story a couple of weeks ago with Karen Della Carriere, she died about in 2012, and they didn't even bother telling us. I had to find out on Facebook 6 months later that my sister had died. So anyway,
that's insane. And talking with Jeffrey, Karen's going to be coming on my channel as well, and it's, to me, that's the most despicable thing I've ever heard of. And I cop for almost 33 years. I've seen some despicable stuff, but come on. This person's child passed away and no one tells her about it. No one told them anything. To me, that's just, oh my gosh. You talk about just pure evil. And Marilyn sent me a text. I don't know if she checked her email yet or not. I asked her to check that real quick. I think she
said she did, and she didn't see it. So I'm going to
forward it to her. She just
she's here.
Yeah,
she's here.
Cool.
Okay.
There's Marilyn. How you doing?
Hey,
Hello. Good. How are you?
It's good to see you, Marilyn.
Yeah.
Marilyn
Thanks
Honig
for the
here.
invite.
Yeah, it's great. Hey, no
Hi,
problem.
everybody.
It's just an open forum. We're all talking here. And we have a special announcement. And I'm glad that I have you all here because I want to get your opinions on things here. Okay. But I got a couple questions here real quick that I want to answer because people put them in here. And it'll be 1 second. Meanwhile, Marilyn, did you see that we got our Xenu mic?
Oh,
Janis and I
great.
did, so I got them on there. Thank you very much.
You're very
Marilyn's
welcome.
the one who made those. Yeah, that's fabulous, fabulous. So anyway, we
Glad
got
you like
that.
them.
Okay.
Xenus are multiplying.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, here's the next question here I wanted to answer. What were the job of the Inchwives, Rathbun, Rinder, and the rest? Blow me in Chicago. Okay, well, Marty Rathbun, when I first met him or whatever, he got married to a young lady who worked for me in David Miscavige's office. Her name was Jeray Jory, and then Jeray Rathbun. And she was a beautiful redhead. Her sister was Lois Riesdorf. And she was a young girl. And in my office, she took care of all of David Miscavige and Shelley Miscavige's domestic affairs, their uniforms, their food, their shopping, anything like that. So they were involved with all that. And so she was in there, and she was married to Marty. And then they got divorced. And then Marty got married to Ann Rathbun, who I talked about earlier. Okay. And he was married to her until, I guess, when he left Scientology. And then he got married to Mosey, his current wife. So that was that. Mike Rinder's wife was Kathy Rinder. She was a good friend of mine. She's a witch now, apparently. And, you know, as many of you may have seen on videos and stuff, and her daughter Taryn attacking Mike relentlessly. And it's too bad, because it's not the Kathy Rinder that I knew. We shared an office together for over a year and a half in Scientology management in the early 1980s. And she was joy. She was fun-loving, funny, intelligent, good manager. And, you know, that's how she was. That's how I like to remember her, not the way she is now. And it's so sad, because it's just like there's a darkness growing in these people. The longer they're around Miscavige, okay, and the longer that they live in that environment, the darkness grows in their heart, and they become, you know, basically robots that will do anything that he says and act any way that he is. And they forget about what's important in life. And it's really sad. So anyway, that's what they were doing. Thank you for that question. And let me see here. I've got one more here I want to answer, and then I'm going to go ahead and show the special announcement, get your guys' opinion. Right. From KB, he's also a member of our channel. Thank you very much, KB. Question mark, do you have any plans to write a book? Sorry if that's been asked a lot, but your experience and insights with Captain Davy would also be valuable in print. You know, I have not written a book. I thought about it many times. To take the time and sit down to do it is really hard to do. So then when we started the channel, I thought, well, this is a way for me to tell my stories, because I basically would be repeating myself in a book and that type of thing. So I just decided to go this route, because I've led an interesting life actually after Scientology as well, which I don't really discuss on this channel, but it would make interesting information in a book sometime. So, but thank you, KB, and I will take that under consideration here. So thanks very much. Okay, so we've got Marilyn Honig here, Clearwater Chad, and John Poe. We've got a bunch of people in here watching, and it's time for me to make our special announcement for our channel. Janis, it can't be here right now, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. And without further ado, I just want to announce that our Scientology store is Peeling the Onion. We have launched our merchandise store, okay? Nice. And it's on our channel right now. You can click on the store tab right there. You can see it there, awesome. Right arrow on our page, and it'll take you to our website that we set up with Fourth Wall. And I designed a bunch of merchandise based on our viewers' requests and some of the things they said. And I'd like to walk through a few of these things and get your guys' opinion. Is that okay?
Awesome. Before you do that, Apostate Alex jumped in. Alex, I sent you a message on Facebook.
Okay. Okay, if he'd like to join us here in a few minutes, we can have him join us as well. Okay,
let's do it.
All right.
Hey,
anyway.
Duncan.
Hey, Duncan.
Hello.
Hey, Duncan.
He's
the favorite.
Marilyn give us proof of life. That was very important to us. So.
Okay, well here we go. Okay, Apostate Alex is in the house. Hi, Apostate Alex. Okay, so this is some of you just go to our YouTube page and click on it, and go to the store, and it'll take you right to there's photographs of the items and all that. These are coffee mugs that we designed. This one here has light blue on the inside. On the one side, it has our Scientology Stories Peeling the Onion. That's our logo that we designed. If you flip on the other side of that same coffee mug, we've got our koala in a Hawaiian shirt that one of our viewers designed. And it says, "G'day, mates." Okay, so that's a cute little coffee mug if you're into coffee or tea or anything like that. All right. We did several of these different versions. Okay. We went with an all black glossy one that's got our Scientology Stories Peeling the Onion logo on one side. And then on the other side, you can either have Mofo Mark, which is my nickname that Scientology bestowed upon me. They call me Mofo. They had to get that from a scavenge. And then we've got Koala Calm, which is basically our viewers' nickname for Janis, because she sells Koala Calm, which is one of her Outback Naturals products. Okay, so anyway, so you can get this coffee mug with either one on the other side, either Mofo Mark or Koala Calm. You just pick out which one you would like. Okay, this is our third option for coffee mugs, because we know people like to drink coffee and tea. Again, it has our Scientology stories here, but here you have a choice. You can get Right Janis, which I'm known to say all the time, Right Janis, and she always responds, correct, Mark.
I like that.
So we did those as well.
I want that one.
These mugs, yeah, these ones come in 11 ounce or 15 ounce if you're a big coffee drinker. Okay, you can get them in either
15.
size.
That's cool.
Okay, so we've got that. Next, okay, Janice says rock slam those likes. Well, we designed a mouse pad that you can get where you can rock slam those likes if you like. And that rock slamming in Scientology means that you've got an evil intention or evil purpose. And we decided to adopt the term rock slam and rock slammer in our channel and in our merchandise, and you'll see here shortly. Okay, this is a travel coffee mug, again with our logo on one side, and on the other side it has the G'day Mates with the koala in the Hawaiian shirt, and that's a travel mug. Okay, and then we did t-shirts also with the G'day Mates, and then on the sleeve it has Mofo Mark on one side and Koala Calm on the other side. All the t-shirts come in various colors. They're all cotton, and they come in various colors. This is a ladies t-shirt with Koala Calm and the G'day Mates and the koala bear. These come in like 9 or 10 different colors, so you can pick any one you want, and come in various sizes as well. And here's where we accepted Rock Slammer. Okay, you can get your Rock Slammer t-shirt with the fist. Okay, and then it's got our logo on the sleeve, our Scientology Stories Peel on the Onion. And then I did a softer version. The women can get the one on the left, but also I did a softer version for the women, which is like a Rock Slammer sort of in script. And we did a sleeveless t-shirt for that. And again, many colors. And I did a Hawaiian shirt. I did a couple of them, believe it or not.
Oh,
That's my favorite.
I might have to get that.
Chad,
Yeah.
Anyway, I took the koala with the G'day Mates, and I could make a pattern with it on this Hawaiian shirt. So you've got multiple koalas from a distance. You don't know what it is, but then when you get close, you can see what it is. That's the first Hawaiian shirt. And then I had, of course, had to do another one for me, which is the Mofo Mark Hawaiian shirt. Okay. So I took the Mofo Mark logo and put it on there. And these are cotton these are rayon, and they're like polyester rayon, but they come in various sizes. Unfortunately, they just come in the colors that you see. But we thought that would be fun since I'm known for Hawaiian shirts, So anyway, so we did that too.
nice.
And this is the homepage for our website. So when you click on the store or click on any of the items, it'll take you to this website, and then you can go through and look at the different merchandise and order it through Fourth Wall. And anyway, so that's our merchandise, our new merchandise. If you're a member of our channel and you're a peeling professional, you get a 5% discount on all merchandise all the time. And if you're a peeling master, you get a 10% discount on all merchandise anytime you want to do it. So anyway, that's the big announcement. Any comments on any of the stuff? What did you think?
Oh my goodness.
I'm open for criticism.
I like them all.
Yeah, I like them all.
Very cool.
The koala, what do you call that? Tropical shirt. That's my favorite. And then I like the black mug. So, but they all look
fabulous.
Good, so,
well, I have an announcement. We're going to do a giveaway of a merch item. Okay. So if you guys want to get in the chat right now, okay, what you can do is if you win, you'll email me your name and address and all that, right? And we will pay for and whatever merch item you got, one item, okay? So you can either get a shirt or a coffee mug or a Rock Slam mouse pad, whatever you want, right? And this is in the U.S. only, unfortunately, because we can't ship overseas, but we will ship in the United States. One last thing I forgot to mention. big thing in the actual merch store. You can buy Janis's book. You can buy both of her books, and they're autographed. Okay. And so if you want to buy her books, it's very easy now to just go to our website and then click on it, and then she'll autograph them to you and send them out to you. So that's in there as well. I forgot to mention that. Okay.
Nice.
So anyway, so we'll go ahead and do a countdown. Everybody get in the chat if you're interested in winning merch, and we'll do it twice. We're going to do it now, and then we'll do it towards the end of the show as well, so that we can get a couple people here win some merchandise. Okay. So people get in here, and if you like, Marilyn, you're the lovely lady. So if you would please do a countdown from 5, and I will just randomly pick somebody as we go here in the chat.
All right, everyone blow up the chat and think about what you'd like. It's all amazing. All right, ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
YouTube watcher wants a book.
All right,
okay,
there you
go.
Congratulations.
You win a book. Congratulations. Let me go ahead and show you where you need to email. On this one here, since it's Janis's book, you're going to email Janis at janisgillamgrady@gmail.com. Okay. If you would send an email to her and tell her, who you are and your mailing address and what you would like autographed in the book, and also, your email address and all that, so we can send it to you. But if you'll do that, she'll get it out in the mail to you, and you'll have it here very shortly. Okay. Awesome. And congratulations to you. And we will do another giveaway here shortly. Somebody else would like merchandise. We'll give you T-shirts and all that, and we'll do another giveaway. Okay.
I see everybody congratulating her too. That's good.
Yeah, congratulations, everybody.
Yeah, that's
okay.
good.
Nice.
All right, so everybody's here, and so we'll go to some more questions here. If you have a question, go ahead and get in the chat, and we'll ask away. We've got another super chat from John Ziskowski. Would you and Janis wear funny hats if I sent them?
Of course you would.
Why not?
John, do whatever you like. I'm not proud. I will wear them. I saw some of the ones on AA Ron's, and boy, that took a lot of guts. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, those were amazing earlier today. That hat was huge.
I know.
I love
But
it.
John, yeah, you're always welcome, and we appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. Anybody else here in the chat have questions? You want to, or if anybody, any of our guests here, have you got anything you'd like to say? Anything you'd like to comment on?
Duncan, I think you'd be interested in what I got going on right now. In the basement,
Sure,
I've
let me
given
know.
my son the shotgun that I was given when I was 7 years old, an old Sears and Roebuck 12-gauge single shot
cool.
manual brake. And that had been my grandfather had bought it long before I was born, gave it to my father, and then he gave it to me, and I gave it on to my son. Well, during the big flood and everything, something got knocked over in the basement. It fell in the water. So now I've got it completely dismantled. I'm going to have to clean it all down and re-blue everything in it, go through all the mechanisms and everything. So it's not like I'm ever going to be able to find parts for it if I need them. So,
you look online, you'd be surprised what you can find out there.
Yeah, maybe I can find another one if I have to change out any of the internals on it. But that's a good old gun. Kicks like a mule, but man, it's a good sturdy platform. So
yeah, very cool.
Yeah. All right, well, we've got another question here from one of our viewers, Mark LaRoque. Mark LaRoque, I hope I pronounced that correctly. What's up with Scientologists calling women sir and Mr.? Okay, I can explain that. Actually, Sea Organization members, it's staff members that are in the Sea Organization. And L. Ron Hubbard wrote in Flag Order 38, which was the etiquette, sea etiquette or the ship etiquette flag order, that it didn't matter if you're a man or a woman, you address them as sir, yes, sir, no, sir, or not yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. It's yes, sir, no, sir. And it would be Mr. Miscavige or Mr. Grady or whatever, Mr. Gillum. That's just the way it was. That was in formal settings. Most times, you just called each other by your first name. But if an officer or senior person wanted to get you in line and you said something to them, they go, you call me sir, you know what I mean? Or yes, sir, and that's why it's done on the ship. So anyway, that's what that one is about. Okay.
Excellent.
And we got another question here from Trauma Ducks. Question for Poe. When will we get the next Jeff interview? It was amazing.
I had a great time, and I'm hoping we're going to be able to do it this coming Sunday. Like I said, it's going to be a multi-part on that. We're going to be busting the myth of Scientology's private investigators and why you really shouldn't worry about them.
Yeah, Jeff's an amazing guy. He's really intelligent, really smart. I got interviewed by him several times over the years, way before anybody really had YouTube channels. And he's just a really good interviewer. You know, he understands, and he can you can talk to him and he understands what you're saying, and he's just a really great guy. And Karen is as well. You know, our number 1 and number 2 videos on our channel have both been Karen's. When we've interviewed Karen, we've gotten the most views on that on any other videos that we got, followed number 3 by when we had Claire Headley on. And of course, who doesn't love Claire Bear?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You didn't have the cracker looker?
He is not. Come on now, he would be probably number 1. He's just been so busy with his work, you know. Would love to have him on, you know, and he would drive a lot of subscribers and views and stuff. But yeah, no, that's it. And we've, you know, I've known Mark for a long time. And matter of fact, I was the one ran the mission, the project that got him up to the gold base the first time when he was 16. And then I left shortly thereafter. So
we didn't teach him how to ride a motorcycle, did you?
No, I did not. I did not. Hey, listen, we got a question from Japan of Green Gables. Where's Janis? Janis was here early, okay, for about 10, 15 minutes, but she had a family obligation that she had to take care of, and we wanted to go ahead and carry on without her. But she sends her love to everybody. And anyway, so she'll be back. Don't worry about it. She'll be there. All right, let me see. I got some other questions here that I starred. Did those already. Here we go. Okay. From Katrina Jones, member of our channel. Question: did anyone have any experience with Scientology previously besides Mark?
Ladies first.
No, I actually was in a different cult. It was Pentecostal, and turned into Duncan and I actually met in the
we met
in the church.
in the cult, basically.
Yes. And we've been married 26 years. We left 15 years ago with our 3 children. And it took a while for us to really process things. And actually
years and years.
being a Scientology watcher, it really helped us to process. And we started out by watching the Leah Remini and the Aftermath show with Leah and Mike, and just over the last few years, just listening to the Fair Game podcast. And then when they wrapped up, what was it, last about a year and a half ago now, I started watching YouTube and kind of got Duncan into it. And one thing led to another, and here we are, and we just love this community. And we're very, very active on YouTube. And
we all shared experience of being ex-cult members. Sorry to interrupt you, honey.
That's okay.
Absolutely.
Everyone's here to see him anyways. Whenever he's not with me, it's like, where's Duncan?
Because I flit in and out. So
did you buy him that new truck yet? We discussed it Wednesday.
He got me a car though.
Well, we got Marilyn a car, so I feel like that's a step in the direction. She was due the next newer vehicle, so if I stepped in the way and got something else, that might not have gone so well. But,
and if anybody doesn't realize, I'm always busting her chops, telling her she's always beating on Duncan, and keep that poor man. We need to start a "Where's Duncan" campaign. So,
all right, Chad,
hey, he's pretty fit, but I feed him good.
Okay, so I was never in Scientology. I was never in Scientology. The closest thing I was in an MLM briefly, but Aaron was, like I said, I used to watch Aaron's streams before it was STV, whatever it is, SPTV, and I used to love when he used to do the reaction videos to Tampa Brad and Grant Cardone, and so I just took on the character from there, and been with you guys ever since.
Excellent.
Fabulous. And then how about you, John?
Well, as I said earlier, my first experience was with the Dianetics book, which I thought was just utter garbage. Other than that, it's a lifetime of pretty much serving. I've done a lot of human trafficking kind of work. As a police officer, I've worked pretty much every kind of case you can have. And this just falls right in line with that. Anything I can do to help break up something where they abuse or use people and get it exposed.
Fabulous. That leads me right into our next question. We've got a super chat from Joni Cummings, also a member of my channel. Is there any way we can spot a private investigator? John, since you're, former police officer and police chief, I'll give some suggestions too, but you probably are more experienced at this than anybody else.
Well, that's the main thing about a private investigator is if they're trying to do some kind of surveillance or they're watching you, they're camped out near you. The first thing you're going to notice is you're seeing the same vehicle or vehicles constantly. And then you start paying attention. The first thing you have to do is you have to have what's called situational awareness, SA. You have to be aware of your surroundings. I walk into a room, I'm looking at everything in the room. So when you go outside, start noticing, are you seeing the same vehicle showing up time after time after time on your block? Are you seeing the same people in different cars? The private investigator that was following me, I would see them right outside of my home a couple doors down, and then I would see them 45 miles south of us down in Toledo, Ohio, in areas where you wouldn't expect these folks to show up. And it's those kinds of things, looking up underneath my car. And I was actually doing some work on the underside of my car, and I noticed the Apple AirTags that were underneath of my vehicle. And, you just have to be aware of what's going on around you and just, start making mental notes of this car, this license plate, this face, those kinds of things. But you also have to be cognizant of the fact that, you may not be seeing PIs. And some folks really get themselves, they start worrying about things like this, and you start seeing things that don't correspond with reality on it. And I'm not saying anyone's crazy, but people do get very paranoid about things that they think that they're being followed by a private investigator. Big thing is there's nothing they can do to you. It's just like another normal person. They don't have any special powers, and they have to be licensed. They have to be regulated. If you realize that you are being followed by a private investigator, you need to very publicly announce to them that they are harassing you, possibly stalking you, and that you wish to be left alone. If you can, you want to have a police officer present when that happens and file a police report for it. And that's the best ways of scaring them off or dealing with them. And, just make sure that your neighbors know. One of the things that was happening with me was they were going to my neighbors. And thankfully, my neighbors know who I am. Been here almost 15 years now in this particular area. And everybody knows who I am. They know what kind of person I am. So when they came up and they started saying these, well, we're investigating for him for this, everybody's like, yeah, right. I'm about as straight-laced as they come. So none of them were worried about it, and they immediately called me afterwards. So,
yeah. My experience obviously was we had Scientology send in spies and private investigators. Dave LeBeau, he was the famous private investigator for Scientology for years. His first case was us here in Las Vegas, and he basically came and got hired at the mortgage company that we were working at as just another employee, and we were friendly. We're friendly people and all that. We were very naive when we left. We trusted people at face value when we just left. So we brought him into our fold. We played racquetball together. He moved into the same apartment complex as us. We started going on trips together, on road trips and things like that. Same thing happened with the guy that was my friend for 9 years, 10 years actually. And we traveled the world, and I talked to him every day. He became my best friend. Okay. And, looking back on it, there were red flags that I missed. You've got to, when they're trying to infiltrate something like that, if they're overly interested in what you do, okay,
exactly.
and what you're doing and that type of thing, that's a red flag, okay? If they're asking questions about other people that you're associated with, that's a red flag. So I've become very aware of that type of thing, and I just don't let people in anymore like that. That doesn't stop me from making friends, because most of the time you meet people and it's like, I'm just polite to them and all that. I'm opposite of you, though, John. My neighbors, I have one or two neighbors that I'm friendly with, but I don't want to know who my neighbors are. That's just been who I am. I live in a place where there's a lot of people, and I don't want to know that there's a child molester 2 doors down or an axe murderer down the road. There's people that like to watch those websites which says, where everybody lives. I don't want to live my life constantly in fear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I understand.
Yeah, but the other thing you said is correct. Whenever I go out and I walk outside, I always look around before I walk out, and you just want to be aware of your surroundings.
I can tell you if a neighbor 3 doors down has a new decoration in their yard. When I walk out my front door, I can see, and we're very private people. You don't see a lot out of us, but I ran for state representative here in Southeast Michigan, so I got to know a lot of my neighbors. And everybody around knows me. They know what kind of person I am, and they know, of course, they've all seen police vehicles parked in my driveway since I moved here. So, that's a quick way that everybody wants to come down and get to know you. That, and every time Monster Jam comes to town, there's a monster truck parked in my driveway. So but that's a big thing, being situationally aware of what's going on around you.
Yeah.
Notice, sometimes there's subtle differences. And that was an excellent point you made, Mark, where you have someone that's suddenly introducing themselves into your life. They are overly inquisitive about things that are going on with you. They suddenly want to be your best friend in the world. Right. And they start infusing themselves in with your daily happenings. Those are all signs that, some people are just like that. They see someone and they're like, oh, that's my new best buddy. But, it's very strange to have that happen, especially after you start something like a YouTube channel denouncing Scientology. So,
yeah, I'm going to add one other thing too, because I know this has happened to several people. Ignore the hate sites, ignore the comments, on YouTube and Twitter, that are attacking you or saying negative things about you, because they absolutely are an OSA operation. Okay, absolutely. And because the number one reason they want to do that is to upset you. They call it interbulate you. They basically want you to be upset about your reputation. What are my family and friends going to think about me? Okay. But number two, they want to back you off. They want you to back off doing what you're doing. And that's why they do that. They try to intimidate. So the best policy, and I know it's hard to do, trust me, I've had terrible things said about me and terrible things on the internet. But like John said, the people that know you, they know who you are. Your neighbors, if you're close to them, they know who you are. My employers, they know who I was, right? So that when there were attacks and people coming to my employers, they went, what is this? You know what I mean? And then I had to explain to them my background in Scientology, and they're like, oh, we're not, we don't care, So that's another good thing too, is I don't even read. I don't even know if they're even putting up stuff on my channel or anything like that. I don't even bother reading it. If somebody makes a really attacking comment, I just take it off. There's no reason for that. We're not doing anything here to make less of people. We're trying to help people here. And you won't see me, really talking negatively about people, what I mean, like that don't deserve it. Like David Miscavige, I'll say negative things about him, but you heard me earlier. I've said positive things about him before too. So anyway, thank you for the question, Joni. That was
we ran into that on my live stream Sunday with Jeffrey. Chad and Goldie both can attest to it. We had someone jump in there that kept saying these really interesting derogatory questions about Jeffrey. And finally, I had to address it because they were warned several times. They posted something positive in a question form. Jeffrey he goes, I know you're OSA. I know what you're doing. You need to stop. And we had to go ahead and ban them. So
exactly.
Okay,
thanks very much.
They're doing it. So
absolutely. Yep. Vernon Salvatierra, question, Poe on the go. Are you aware of Jehovah's Witnesses not accepting blood transfusions? Thousands have died, including children in the faith.
Yes, I'm very aware of it. There aren't any actual official numbers on it because, like with Scientology, they keep their secrets close to chest, so they don't put those things out there. I personally believe that it's a catch-22 because our Constitution allows for religious liberties, and if a religion says we don't participate in those kinds of medical procedures, it's kind of hard because it's a constitutionally protected right. Me, on the other hand, I really don't care what your religious beliefs are. If you endanger a child, you endanger a child, and you need to be held accountable for it. So, I'm very aware of it.
Absolutely.
And I want to comment here. I got a comment here from Peter Anderson. However, Mark, you embraced your handle mofo. Yeah, you know what? That's really tongue in cheek, because I'm not really a mofo. But if you mess with me, I am a mofo. You know what I mean? So I just do
Janice,
that. I try and turn that around on David Miscavige and Osa calling me mofo. That was my code name. So I embrace it. You're absolutely right, because you know what? If you mess with me, I can be a mofo. Absolutely. And I make the shirt and all that as a joke, basically, because a mofo Mark is somebody who's not willing to take crap from anybody, particularly a cult that destroys family and destroys people. So that's really what mofo Mark means. It's not identifying me. It's identifying somebody who's willing to make a stand. That's what that's for. Thanks, Peter, for that comment.
Mark, I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what merch platform you use, but are you able to make wallets? I think you need a mofo Mark wallet, because
I know what you're talking about.
Duncan needs a new wallet. It's falling apart.
It's got to be one of those nylon 1990s wallets that's velcroed together. It's got to
the Pulp Fiction mofo wallet.
Ones. I bought one of those Fiction wallets several years ago at a motorcycle rally. I thought it was hilarious.
My boys have them.
But Fourth Wall doesn't have that. But we have, like I said, we've got somebody here who, a former Scientologist who's a friend of ours. They do merchandise for gift shops, and they can do anything, right? So we're going to talk to them about different things that Fourth Wall doesn't carry. We actually, on Fourth Wall, we can put up our own products, and we get 100% of the stuff, like Janis's books. All we have to do is handle the shipping. So any product that we get ourselves, we can handle it, and Fourth Wall provides the platform for us to get the word out and to take care of customer service and all that.
Here's another idea. I've got a nice 40 by 24 inch laser sitting in my garage that can also engrave leather.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
all right. Well, let me go to the next questions here. Thank you very much for those comments and questions. Japan of Green Gables. This question here about share stories about David Miscavige's roommate. Earlier in the video, I got asked a similar question, so I already answered that. So if you get a chance, go back to the beginning and watch, and I kind of cover that part. But thank you very much for the question, and also thank you for your loyalty to our channels. We really appreciate it.
Hello, JGG. Haven't seen you in a little while.
Glenda Stevenson question: will any of you be in Los Angeles next week for Danny Masterson's sentencing? I won't be. How about any of you?
I've been asked if I'm willing to come out there and help cover it with someone else. Just trying to figure out the logistics with everything that's happened with the storms and everything that happened around our house.
Speaking of which, John, I would like your opinion. I'm wondering if during this time period, Danny Masterson's attorneys haven't been negotiating with the prosecutors for a lighter sentence in exchange for cooperation with the grand jury into Scientology suppressing and interfering with these charges.
From what I've heard, there's been a lot of conferencing back and forth, and especially we hear most about the fact that his attorneys are supposedly filing appeals, which I have no doubt they're going to file every appeal that they can. I wouldn't be surprised if, because I've had some people say, well, no, he's a Scientologist through and true, but he's also a celebrity Scientologist. So he's been very pampered, and now he's facing some very rough times. I would not be surprised in the least bit if he did offer up some kind of information and a way to work out a plea deal for himself.
Well, and that's what I think Miscavige, this is just my opinion. I have no information on this. I think that's what he's been worried about here for the last several months since he got convicted, because there's nothing more that Miscavige is worried or afraid of than going to jail. Okay. I know from when he was being investigated in the early 1980s, along with L. Ron Hubbard when he was still alive, because the IRS, their criminal investigation division, was investigating L. Ron Hubbard and Scientology, because their theory, and it was a correct one actually, was that Scientology was funneling money to L. Ron Hubbard. It's called annulment, and they were denying it, right? And for the longest time, David Miscavige and a guy named Lyman Spurlock, who were at Author Services, they were afraid unless Hubbard died, that they didn't say unless Hubbard died, but they needed a miracle. Otherwise, they thought they were going to go down because there was no way they were going to lose. There was going to be criminal charges. And Miscavige was scared out of his mind. Same thing with Lisa McPherson in 1999, 2000. He fought that tooth and nail, to get rid of that indictment, because he does not want to go to jail. That's his biggest fear. So I wouldn't be surprised if, they're working over Masterson and his attorneys to not flip on him, because if I was Danny Masterson, I was facing minimum 36 years at his age. He ain't getting out. I mean, unless he strikes a deal with the prosecution, I would flip in a heartbeat, because guess what? Scientology is going to throw him right under the bus.
What worries me, and Matt Elliott brought up something about it, about the fact, can he get a lighter sentence because of the type of charges he has? What worries me about that is if he goes federal, because federal can step in and they can pretty much just wash it away, take him in as a confidential informant or as someone who's going to turn state's evidence against the church, and then they have the ability to start building big RICO cases against them. So that's something that, and what worries me about that is yes, it would be fantastic to see them bring them down through RICO or something like that, but what about justice for the Jane Does?
And I understand that. Yeah, no, that's a good point. I will say this: I would be concerned that they keep delaying the sentencing. If it gets delayed again, if I'm Miscavige, I'm sweating bullets, because that means they're doing something with the prosecution, trying to negotiate something, because it's in the prosecution's best interest to get him to flip on them, on Scientology, right? Otherwise, they're just going to go, sentence him 36 years minimum on 2 counts.
Oh, yeah.
He's basically away for life. You know what I mean?
Anyway,
and he can appeal all he wants. He's going to be in jail for quite some time. And
he's getting a taste of it right now, sitting in the county jail, waiting for everything to happen. I don't know if he's bonded out yet or not, but he got a real good taste.
He's in jail. He's in jail.
So he's getting a real good taste of how it's going to be. You're not a star. You're not a celebrity. Nobody really gives a crap in there. So
and I bet you, though, they're still keeping him in solitary. You know what I mean? Like, and they have a special cell in LA, or special cell block at the LA County Courthouse. Like O.J. Simpson was kept in there for the longest time. Anybody who they thought was a celebrity that if they put him in general population would be attacked. Well, he'll go to general population though once they convict him, he gets a sentence.
Once he hits the big house, yeah. Wonder how he's enjoying that gourmet food he's having in there.
I know, exactly. Anyway, thanks very much for that question. We got a couple more here. Veronica Bombria question: was just watching Mitch and Jeff. What do you think about Broken Brothers? That's Mitch Brisker and Jeff Levin. Okay. Broken Brothers is about the rock group People, which was Jeff Levin and Robbie Levin and several other people in the late 1960s. I haven't seen the movie yet. Janis went to the premiere and she saw it. And of course, she's friends with Jeff and Robbie. And we're trying to get Jeff and Robbie on our channel. So we should have them soon. But I don't have anything else on that.
That was a great film. I think it was the premiere. You could pay like, I don't know, a couple dollars to watch it in a 48-hour period, and I think we watched it 2 or 3 times, and it was amazing.
Oh, wow.
I think it's coming back out. I'm not sure when they said that it'll be available again, but it was just a sneak peek, and I grabbed it right up. It was just so touching,
I didn't know
really
that was
moving.
available. I would love to see it. Anyway, that's really great.
Yeah,
and let me preface a couple things here. When I'm talking about, when I come from my experience in law enforcement, that's in Michigan. Every state has its own laws and they can be completely different. I don't know how California handles it on situations like that. There've been a couple of people saying you can't get a more lenient sentence, but my experience comes from Michigan, so it could be very, very different out that way.
That's true. It's different state to state. That's for sure. Okay, we got another question here, and it is from Don Lambert. Question: are those of us who did our OT 1 through 3 levels outside the organization from stolen OT materials considered OTs even after we were declared? I have no idea. I'm sure Scientology doesn't consider you such. I'm a declared suppressive person. I didn't do any OT levels outside of Scientology, but I did do all the way up to OT7. I was on OT7 while I was in the Sea organization, and I haven't missed it one bit, to be honest with you. But I'm not here to judge people. As far as the levels outside from the stolen OT levels, they're as valid as you make them. You know what I mean? If you got the gains and the wins out of them, that's great. More power to you. I'm not here to judge or anything like that. But I can guarantee you that the Church of Scientology, they consider it squirrel or they consider it stolen, so they don't recognize it. But to be honest with you, you shouldn't even care, really. I mean, I'm just to make a comment. Don't care about it, because the thing is, if you got the gains that you said you wanted to get out of them, they're your gains. Nobody can take that away from you. Thank you, Dawn. Have we got any other questions anybody wants to discuss or anything like that? Because if not, we'll do another giveaway here for some merchandise.
Ooh.
What do you think?
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
I don't see any other questions right now. If anybody has questions, you want to get them in there, you can super chat us and all that stuff. That would be great. Meanwhile, we will go ahead and, if you're going to get our merchandise, go to our store on our YouTube channel, and you can see all of those great creations that we created, and you can order your products there. And we're going to go ahead and merch you or book you or whatever you like, because we're going to do a giveaway here in just a minute. And so I just wanted to mention that again. Click that shopping button or the store button and take a look. And, if you like something, let us know. Okay. So anyway, people, get in the chat. If you wanted merchandise this time, that's what we're going to give away. And this time we will let Chad, Clearwater Chad, let you
thanks, guys.
do the countdown. Let's before you do that, while people are still getting the chat, I just want to mention that when you do win, I will give you email address. If it's merchandise, I'll give you the email for me to handle. And if it's a book that you want, then it'll be Janis's. So anyway. Whenever you're ready, everybody get in the chat, and you can do a countdown, Chad, and then I'll just randomly pick somebody, okay?
Okay. Sounds good. Countdown from 5 to 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, Joel.
Joel McCoy. Joel.
Hey, Joel.
You won a shirt. Okay, Joel. So congratulations. You've won. Right. I think you've won books before. He's won before on our channel before. But anyway, here's what you need to do, Joel. You need to email me, okay, at messengerondutymf. messengerondutymf@gmail.com. Okay. I need your name. I need your address and your email address. Okay. And we will, if you're in the United States, of course, we'll ship it to you. And you want a shirt, also go through our site or whatever and pick a shirt that you like. And also you got to give us the size too, and the color. Size and the color is very important if you're getting a shirt. Okay. So anyway, email me at messengerondutymf@gmail.com. And congratulations, Joel. We really appreciate that. And anyway, so we've got lots of people here. Dawn Lambert, I think she's saying I was joking. I take it you were joking about the OT levels. That's okay if you were joking or whatever. I was just trying to answer the question. No harm, no foul. We got another question here from YouTube watcher. ? Congrats on the live with Janis's daughter, Erin. Amazing. She mentioned that people who end up in Scientology and the Sea organization can provide the fix, make things go right. What's the key to that efficiency? Okay. Yeah, well, basically what I mean is that, and I think the military is probably similar in that you were put in situations where it's basically do or die. Okay. In the Sea organization, you're not actually going to die, but you're doing things under the threat that you're going to go to the rehabilitation project force if you don't get them done. Right. So that, what we used to say, as L. Ron Hubbard used to say, it raises your necessity level. Okay. You've got a higher necessity level to be successful and make things happen. And it becomes part of your everyday life, that's everything you attack with the purpose of getting it done. we did what we called battle plans every day, where it was like listing out on paper everything that you were going to work on to get done that day. And then you wrote done or checked it off as you did it. So it became a way of life for us when we were in the Sea Organization, that you basically made things go right. If you had a flat tire and you had nobody else around to fix it, guess what? You dive in and you fix it. That was just the viewpoint. How about you, John? Is that similar to military or anything like that?
Yeah, what they do is, I see it with a lot of different organizations that do these things, where they make you so dependent upon them that you feel like your life can't go forward or continue as it is, because if you leave, how are you going to support yourself? You don't know enough to do anything. And that's, they talk about it with the military. What they do with us in the military is literally they break you down in your basic training or your boot camp, whatever it is. They want to break you down to your base element, and then when they want to rebuild you as a soldier. Because as you were saying, this is a matter of, if you can't follow the simplest of directions when you're in basic training or boot camp, how are you going to be able to be an effective soldier when lives are on the line? So they follow a lot of that principle, and I see that with the fact they have the Sea Organ and paramilitary type organization and structure. So yeah, there's a lot of similarity in there, and it's very easy to manipulate people.
Yeah, and I think Hubbard took that from the military, the same type of thing. That's why they have what they call the Estates Project Force. When you first get in, you're doing manual labor while you do your studying, and basically it's to toughen you up,
Well, he did win 6 Congressional Medal of Honors and did take Japan by himself. So, it's not surprising.
Exactly. Thank you, YouTube watcher. We've got a couple other questions here. I'll go ahead and throw them up here. We've got Veronica Bombria. Was just watching Mitch and Jeff. Oh, wait, we did that one already. Sorry about that. That happens. Here's another one. Oh, we did that one too.
Double tap.
I know.
You got to double it.
Double tap. There you go. This one I know.
I like that one.
Veronica Bombria, question. Can we send Danny Masterson merchandise in jail? I wouldn't mind if you do it, but John, what would happen if they got the address at the jail and send them stuff?
Well, problem is it's all going to have to be filtered through their regulations, what they have there. I can guarantee you he's not getting a travel mug. He's not getting the regular coffee mugs, because you're not supposed to be having those things. They provide you with what you need for those in those situations. Maybe the shirt, but a lot of them require that you wear if you see anything with anyone who's actually locked up in a penitentiary, they all wear the same shirts, the same clothing. So you'd probably be just throwing the money away trying to send it to him.
You could send him a rock.
Could I draw a palm tree?
Yeah. Now that's a little bit different. That's not, it's not to say it like with clothing and stuff like that, but you can actually, something like that. You could send him, the book might be good, sending him Janis's books.
Absolutely. You can read the books. That's for their paperback,
He's got time.
But I was going to say that, and the Rock Slammer shirt, I'm sure that would really register with them big time. So,
a chisel.
All right. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Next question we got here is from Joan Stowell. Question: is there an organization in Spokane, Washington? Love your show. I don't know if there is one or not. There wasn't when I was in Scientology and I left in 1990. I would imagine there is not. But all you have to do is just, go in I used to say go in the yellow pages, but now you can just search on the internet and find out, So anyway, thanks very much for that question. And then we got a question from Vernon Salvatierra again. Mark, did Scientology fair game any of your family who aren't Scientologists? Yeah, that has not happened. They have not done that. The only thing they did was they got my mother. They tried to get my mother to disconnect from me. They used my sister, threatening to disconnect from my mother if she didn't disconnect from me. So I guess that you could say that was fair game on my mother. My mother was 83 years old at the time, living here in Las Vegas. She's going to be 93 years old next month. Okay. And I basically take care of her, and I have for the last 20 years, So my sister giving my mother that choice was really ridiculous, because my mother said, I don't want to pick between my kids, but Mark takes care of me, and my sister wasn't doing anything. So anyway, but that's Scientology for you. That's what they do. Anyway. All right. Any other questions here before we wrap this thing up? I don't see any more. Have you guys got anything else you want to talk about briefly or mention before we get going here? John, Chad, Marilyn?
I just say, go ahead.
Oh,
go ahead, Marilyn.
No, I was just gonna say, when you were talking about the Danny Masterson thing, the thing as in whether or not he would try to do a plea bargain. I remember Poe said something that really resonated with me was we want to see the Jane Does have justice for what happened to them. And I understand, no one wants more than me to see Scientology go down. But I have a feeling, and I just want to get your input on this, is I just feel like there's so much going on with Dave Miscavige and OSA and the PIs and everything. Don't you think they're gonna slip up somewhere at some point and have something, just a smoking gun, so to speak, where they're gonna have to be accountable for something. So I'm just hoping against hope. I just want to commend you, Mark, for everything that you do, telling your story and keeping the word out in everyone on SBTV, because I mean, there's got to be justice. There's got to be something, coming to light soon. I'm just hoping against hope there.
Yeah.
I'm going to interject. I saw a comment go by earlier, and I think the gist of it was that in a sex crime situation, they may not allow plea bargaining, in which case that would actually protect the Jane Does. So I don't know whether that applies or not, but I saw it go by.
Where I was worried about that was if he went to the federal level, because they can literally just walk in and do away with the state level kind of charges. That's a scary thing. It's a catch-22. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You take this plea from him and you get him into the federal system to where he could take down this horrible organization. And you have how many untold victims of the same kind of incident that have fallen through the cracks because Scientology has been able to bully prosecutors, police officers, things like that. Do they finally get justice when all this comes about, as compared to the fight that these women have had to get justice for what happened to them? And it's sad because in the case of, there's other celebrities who've been in similar situations, and, those folks got justice. It's a catch-22. So,
absolutely,
you have to walk a fine line. So
I'm going to mention this again for anybody watching. If you've got achy joints and bones, Erin, Janis's daughter, has Oracle Healing Salve, which is a CBD salve, and I've used it, and it's got emu oil and all that. It's really great for your skin, and it actually does take away any pain. Anyway, just go to www.healedbyoracle.com. You get a 10% discount, if you use the code ONION10, and that's valid until September 6th, So anybody that wants to try it, I'm telling you, if you've got pain in your joints and all that, give it a try. I think you'll enjoy it. Yeah. But I wanted to let everybody know about that again. Please subscribe to all of our channels.
Yes, please.
We are just hit 7,500 subscribers yesterday, and it helps to get the word out there. The more we get, I'm sorry, I'm not going to mute Misha. I'll close the door.
Please, we all got dogs.
Anyway, because I got to wrap this up. Anyway, so please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. If you want to, this is our channel address, right? Mark and Fisher and Janis Gillen Grady. If you want to become a member of our channel, Marilyn's a member of our channel, and basically just hit that join button on the homepage and just follow the instructions on it. We have 3 levels. We've been doing one-on-ones with our peeling masters. That's one of the things you get if you're a peeling master. Janis and I do a 10 to 15-minute one-on-one live chat with you once a month. So we're meeting some really interesting people that way. And anyway, so there's lots of things. Plus, you get a free book if you're a peeling master as well. But anyway, click that join button if you want to be a member of our channel. We appreciate that. And if we missed any of your questions, just ask in the comment section on this video. Janis and I go through them all the time, and I answer them, as best we can, and all that. Anyway, that's what I have, everybody. Anybody else have anything else they want to mention and anything you want to plug? Or
I just want to say thank you for having me on. It's like with Jeff and Karen, I consider you and Janis pretty much royalty when it comes to the
thanks.
SVTV verse. You guys are there. You guys are OGs, and it's an honor to be welcomed in and be part of the chat with you. And I really consider it an honor to consider you a friend also. So thank you very much.
No, thank you, John. I was just going to say, I appreciate that, and we're just telling our history, but we're no better than any of you guys. You know what I mean? We're just people like everybody else, and we don't really have any ego or anything like that. We just want to get the information out there, and we also appreciate the time that the viewers take, because there's so much out there to watch. So you got to pick and choose the best you can, and we'll just keep putting it out there. And if you guys watch it on a replay or watch it live, that's fine. We're just doing what we can. Anything from you, Marilyn?
Oh, just thank you for having us on, and we just love this community. And we're just gonna, keep being involved and rooting for everyone, and for justice for everyone that's had Scientology just hurt them and hurt their families. So we're here for it. We're here for everyone.
Duncan, anything you'd like to add?
Just to reiterate what Marilyn's saying, I mean, I feel like we have two goals that are two sides of the same coin. One is to bring down Scientology and other cults and control groups, and rescue and raise up the people that we bring out of those groups. So the more damage we can do to those groups, and the more people we can kind of rescue out of them and help rebuild, that's our goal. Let's do it. We're glad to be part of the movement.
Fabulous, Duncan. How about you, Clearwater Chad?
Well, I was honored, Mark and John. Thank you very much. I was honored for the invite tonight, and the more we keep supporting each other, the more that we're going to get there, and we're going to get Scientology is going to keep going the way it is. It's not on the upscale.
Fabulous. Okay, everybody, stick around. I'm just going to run the outside. When I get off, just stay on. I just want to talk to you all when we get off the air. Okay. Anyway, bye, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Night all. I have the TV on. That's why Apollo's barking.